Morning. It's June 29th, and we're expecting some more severe weather today and all throughout Indiana. And they did say this morning we got a heads up that we're going to have severe hail and severe rain and severe winds. So to protect the plants uh, that we had out through the last storm, we went ahead and brought them in under our front porch. We're letting our onions cure out for a few days. We just picked them a few days ago, made a video, but these plants set out through the last hailstorm. Let me see if you can get and you can see the divot holes. Maybe it's showing up where the hail went down into the soil. So if you've got small plants in containers, it's a no-brainer. Just bring them in and put them under your porch to protect them a little bit. Here's our butternut squash out front. We took a lot of the bad leaves off, but you can see it's still pretty bad shape. But it is coming back. We lost a lot of the grow tips, and that was a shame because it was doing good. So we left this one. We pulled the other big one, the largest one actually. We had to pull because there was hardly any green leaves left on it. So it's coming back. And our sweet potatoes, it beat them, the leaves. You can see a lot of the leaves I just left on here. But they're still living and doing pretty good. Actually, I got to get up there and do something about that. They're getting ready to start climbing up around the eaves. But the bottoms look terrible. This butternut squash, it beat the tops out of it, and it you can see it's scraggly looking, but we're gonna let it go and see what happens. This is how we replanted. I've got a butternut squash there. I've got a small tomato there. And these are our tomatoes we put here in this box. These actually made it through the hailstorm, but it beat a lot of the little branches off. So I dug out some of my old pots, kind of like you do in the wintertime. And just, if you got a storm coming through for a minute in a quick pinch, you can get your old pots out of your building and lay them on top of your plants and cover them. I had an old screen left, so I put this screen on top of the tomato cages, put 2 stakes in the ground, and 2 stakes across it to kind of keep the hail off of it today, best I can. I mean, it may beat holes through the screen. I'm not sure. It just depends on how severe the weather we get. But they did call for some bad stuff. So I took an old barbecue grill top. The winds blow in from the south here, so this should stop a little bit of the hail there with the screen. I really need to get my thyme plant, put it on the porch. This is a replacement tomato for the ones we lost, so I got it potted up and put over the pots put over there with some weight on top. These are our new seedlings of our cucumbers. We took our cucumbers down, put new ones in the ground. The hailstorm come through. We lost one of the 2. Fortunately, I had more started on the front porch. I started more than I needed just in case we had any death issues with the new plants and the bugs eating them up or whatever, but it was the hailstorm got them. So we had replacements for those. Here's another cucumber that we covered up with another pot. Here's another tomato plant, and I'm going to lay these cages in front of that because, like I say, this is heading, the south will blow up through there, so that may help that out. Our beans, they look pretty bad, but they're still alive. We actually got flowers coming out now, and I don't know how well the beans will do not having no leaf cover for the beans with the sun on them. They may do, they may not. So right here we planted another row of beans, and I lined up some old window screens I picked up at the curb to keep the brand new bean plants. You can see them down there coming up. So we don't want to get these beaten to the ground. Here's the boxes that we lost our pepper plants and our tomato plants. So we've got them replanted. I've got some videos of those. And These are covered in screens, not so much for the hail, but for the squirrels to keep them digging. I'm just going to let that guy go. That's chili pepper. It made it through the last storm. And then this is a brand new butternut squash. We had extras, so we went ahead and yanked that big plant out of there. That was the largest we had. We had 8-foot vines on that thing, and it was already getting our female butternuts on it. So it was sad to have to pull it, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So, see. We replanted it. We got another one there getting ready to go, and hopefully we can get it covered and the storms won't tear it apart like they did the rest of the stuff. These sweet potatoes, they took it pretty well because they're up against the house, but they still got a little bit of damage. So just some, if you've got containers, you can move them in a sheltered place, which is, like I say, a no-brainer. But if you've got other plants planted out in your garden and they're small, just take your old pots or 5-gallon buckets and lay right over the top and put some weight on them, and you should be fine. Thanks for watching.